So here we have two different types of scoops or emulsion applicators, troughs. The one with the blue end caps is the more expensive double-edged type. One edge is a blunt or rounded edge used for lower mesh counts, and on the other side there is a much sharper or honed edge for finer mesh counts and a finer application of the emulsion. The one with the green end caps is an eBay special, an eBay cheapie, which is more than usable. They tend to come with the rounded or more blunt edge, but they are very, very useful, very, very cheap. And in fact, just because this will possibly be the one you buy yourself, we're going to use this one for the purposes of our demonstration for screen coating. Okay, just a quick note before we begin. The process from now on should be done under safe light conditions. So this little light here is going to have to go off because it's no good. However, the filling of the scoop will be done under safe light. The rest of the video shall be done under normal lighting conditions, just so you can see what's going on. Bear in mind, it should be under safe light. Okay, guys? Red or yellow is the best. Wonderful. This is what you need. Okay, when it comes to filling the trough with emulsion, we have to take some care, otherwise it will go everywhere. Now, it's a lot easier if we have a partially filled tub or the tub has had a quantity used already, but the principle applies the same to a brand new tub of emulsion. Just do it slowly and carefully. Gradually fill the trough to just slightly over half full. Okay, and then another important piece is to just gently use your finger or a piece of lint-free cloth just to wipe the lip. We're going to clean the lip of the tub or bucket, because if the emulsion is allowed to dry, it will flake and give you debris. You want debris-free emulsion, okay? So always wipe off any excess fluid. Don't give it a chance to flake up, guys. Loosely put the lid back on in case we need to refill the trough if we're doing a quantity of screens. And then we're good to go. Okay, before we actually apply any emulsion to the screen, we have to check the screen for debris. We're in a screen printers. There are airborne particles, bits of material, nasties, dust, whatever. It could be on the surface of your screen, and you do not want it. If you see any, lightly flick it with the nail of your finger and it should come away. Do not rub it, because you will cause static electricity and you could apply unwanted grease or even more debris. Gentle flickings to remove any debris from the screen prior to coating. We'll be using the two-handed method for coating the screens, which requires a block to be fixed to the wall, which we push the screen to, lock it into place with our foot, and then we coat. The coating is done by pushing firmly against the screen, tipping the trough forward, driving the emulsion into the screen until we get to the top. Then we tip the screen back, and we give it a little scrape and a wiggle to get rid of the residue which forms at the top, and that's coating number one. So we're going to go again, trough to the bottom of the screen, push inwards, nice firm continuous stroke right to the top of the screen, and again we'll shear off in a second. We're going for a 2-back-1, so that's the first 2 strokes. The last and final stroke will always be from the squeegee side to drive the 3 layers back through to the print side, giving us our emulsion over mesh on the print side where we want it. The final stroke, again tip forward, firm continuous movement right to the very top of the screen. Again, you'll notice we're not in safe light. This should be in safe light conditions. This is just so you can see what's going on. A little wiggle, shear it off, and the screen is now ready to go to the ovens or the drying room, and then ready for artwork. I thoroughly recommend the use of ovens because you can control the temperature as well as the relative humidity easily. We run to just under 30 relative humidity, 30%, and then we run to about 38 or 37.5 degrees centigrade, which is about 100 to 100.4 Fahrenheit for the ovens. Now the screens go in emulsion side down, so gravity can pull the emulsion through to give you the optimum stencil for printing. Okay, a quick recap. Cheap scoops, they work, they're okay, thumbs up, they'll save you money and they do a great job of applying emulsion to your screen. So that's number one. Number two, use light safe conditions as much as you can, guys. We're actually coating the screens with a light sensitive agent or emulsion, so use safe light conditions to avoid any unwanted reactions to the screens especially. Now, if you can keep all of your screen and pre-press items out of the printing area to avoid debris, we want to avoid any aerial debris, particles, dust, any fibers from the garments, and that's a really good idea. So we check the screens prior to coating for any unwanted debris, and if there is any there, don't wipe it, because you can cause static electricity which will actually attract debris. So gently flick it with your nail and your finger and it should ping them off, okay? And now we're going to use the two-handed method of coating, which we have to fix a block to the wall, prop the screen up against it, lock it into place with our foot, and then we're good to coat. Now by coating with the two-handed method, we're aiming for a 2-back-1, which will be 2 coats on the print side and 1 coat on the squeegee. Using the coater, push it into the screen nice and firm, a big continuous movement from the bottom to the top of the screen, tip the screen back, scrape off any residual, and that's your first coat done. Hit it again, same way, nice, firm, even, continuous stroke up the screen, scrape off the residual. That's a tongue twister. And then we go to the squeegee side, which is always the last one, so we drive all the layers back through to the print side. Same method again, nice firm stroke, continuous to the top, and that way we end up with the emulsion basically residing underneath the mesh. We're aiming for something called emulsion over mesh. We're aiming for an element of emulsion to be proud of the mesh on the print side of the screen. And so we'll also dry the print side down, or the emulsion side down, as some guys call it. So we'll put the print side down in the ovens or the drying room or rack, and we're looking to control the way it's dried, with the humidity being 30% or lower, ideally, on the relative humidity, and temperatures around 38 degrees centigrade or 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit will give you a good drying temperature, and the humidity will be controlled. Okay, and everything will be good to go. Hopefully you'll end up with lovely clear screens with no pinholes or minimal pinholes, which can be a nightmare, and a good solid emulsion that will last on the press and not prematurely break down. How long will it take to dry and be good to go? Well, that depends on your drying room or your cabinet or your oven, how efficient that works. Okay, ours work quite well, and within about 12 to 15 minutes we have tested them with the moisture gauges, and they're good to go. But they are good ovens. Sometimes it takes longer, but for us that's the amount of time. Okay guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. More videos to come. I hope it's been of help.